Welcome back to Minion Theory. In today's video, we'll be talking about the lore of Apex Legends. There is an infamous character that has been in the game since the beginning of Apex's lifespan. If you don't look in the story, you'll think of him as Gibraltar, but you're wrong. It is a follower of the religion God-related. Before we can dissect this religion, we need to see what this fictional god is and what he can do, along with what they oppose. God-relator is an interesting quote-unquote god. See, he only has two true goals. To one, be believed and respected, and two, to destroy all pieces of the original The Wraith. God-relator gives and takes many blessings from people who are strong and or respect him. Our first prime example of this is Gibraltar, a follower of God-relator. He has spent his whole life following in his name to be as close to God as mortals possibly can be. He was gifted with amazing powers. He has tough skin and is able to call upon God-relator's personal airstrikes. A different example of a blessing is to Bloodhound. Instead of following in the steps of God-relator, they forged their own path to be pure. They lived as how they found was right. God-relator saw this and gave them fitting powers. Bloodhound can track animals to help them, but if there's any that they consider immoral, they have the ability to call upon God-relator's powers to go into RON mode. Those are examples of blessings or powers given directly for being good people. What happens if they don't follow either of God-relator's two rules? A bad example of this is Seer, whom had moved the Apex games to a garbage moon for nothing but money. God-relator didn't like this, especially after Seer had the audacity to help a Wraith. Seer had done the unthinkable, breaking both of God-relator's rules, and so he had to us been nerfed. Seer, aka, had his powers limited. Now, another curse I could talk about is Revenant, whom was originally human, but under the good graces of Gibraltar, had turned into a machine. But Revenant took this to another direction. He became a hitman for hire with such great powers. He used it for greed and didn't respect God-relator's will. So, God-relator decided to curse him with infinite clones. Revenant would never be able to die. It would first be a blessing, but later a curse which God-relator knew. But it backfired, because his opposite, the Wraith, took over Revenant's clone makers to make him more powerful, to fight on Wraith's side. Overall, God-relator seems like a fine choice for people in the Apex universe. Respect in exchange for power. Now, on the other side of this coin is the Wraith. The Wraith was once a great god of destruction. Even with being so powerful, she had a Death Star level weakness. Wraith had been put into a coma later on by being hit with a beam of pure RON energy. Thanks to this, some scientists were able to capture the unconscious Wraith and proceed to design a machine to teleport them in between reality with no way out. But it didn't work entirely. Some pieces of Wraith had escaped. The seam wasn't perfect. Some pieces were still left out. And those had been teleported to different universes, luckily, so they are very weak forms of Wraith. All of them, though, can speak to each other. They help the ones who become powerful, but in most haven't yet. And if they form together using these more powerful people they find that help them with their goal, they will reward them with greed before recombining into a god of destruction and destroying the last true god, Godblader. See, a great example of wraiths picking someone up who will become powerful but isn't yet is Revenant. He is so powerful that he has an entire universe controlled just for a game, and even teleports other Revenants just to toy with them there every year during Halloween. But just remember, this is just a Minion. It's not just a Minion theory, it's Minion truth. I hope this helps you make the correct choice of characters to play on your next Apex game. Well, next time on Minion Theory, I will be talking about clones. Speaking